Infosys provides world-class online IT training, staffing, and software testing solutions to customers worldwide. H2K Infosys, how we are different from our competitors. 100% job-oriented training, hands-on project work, cloud test lab, resume preparation and review, mock interviews, robust syllabus, one-time fee and lifetime access to classes, access to recorded sessions of live classes. H2K Infosys has won the trust of thousands of students worldwide. For a free demo class, visit us at h2kinfosys.com.
Here bike b1 equals to new bike. So what basically happens, a new object gets created, right? So this is somewhere in the heap memory. If this is your heap, and somewhere in the heap there is an object which is getting created. All right. Now, the moment I say a new bike of let's say when I say new bike, okay, what happens? Basically, in your bike, if you see here, by default, if you are invoking your, if you are using just your new bike, basically your default constructor is going to get invoked, and the value of petrol, the value of name, and the value of length will be 5, bike, and 10. Okay, so here I'll be creating an object here whose value is 5. This is bike and this is 10. All right. Now, if I create one more instance here by saying bike 2 equals to new bike of 10, that means I'm basically creating a new bike. Okay, this is a new bike object. Instead of 5, now the value is 10 here, right? And this is your D, and this is your, let's say, 10. So this is the value of the petrol. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Now, what is this here? Okay, when you say new, okay, new of 10, that means you are basically creating an object here. Okay, but what is this? This is a reference to the bike object. That means somewhere you have a bike here, okay, B-I-K-E, bike 1, and bike 1 is basically referring to your this object. So what you have is, you are basically having a handle to a particular object here. Now, how do you access that, or how do you refer to that particular object in the memory? You basically say bike 1 dot petrol liter. Okay, now if you do not have the reference, can you call that? Now I want to access let's say I want to access your petrol liter, or I want to access all the other properties of this bike. Okay, so there is no way I can access it if I do not have a reference. Okay, we have other ways, but here with the help of the reference itself I'm able to access it. Okay, now what is the other way I can access it here? So remember, folks, this is a reference to the object. So this is somewhere, this is the reference. Okay, so with the help of this reference I'm able to access the object. Okay, so if I say bike 2 here, right, so this is your, I'm going to create a bike 2, let's say here. Okay, this is your bike 2, and bike 2 is basically referring it to the memory address of your second object. Okay, so whenever I say new, a new space is going to create it, a new object is going to get created, and the reference out here on the left hand side is basically referring it to the object here. Okay, now if you can see here, I just created a bike in this way, even and after creating the bike with the help of the reference. Okay, so this is always, I say it is a reference. Okay, so with the help of the reference here, I was able to access the properties here. All right, now I can even access it in the other way out. The moment I let's see how to access that. I can say systrace, and plus I will simply say, let's say, new bike dot, okay, petrol liter. Okay, now what I'm doing here, with the help of the bike itself, the moment I created an object, I'm trying to access the properties in it. Okay, so right click, run as Java application. All right, so I'm able to, the moment I created an object, I was able to access the properties of that particular class. Okay, now this is all about directly accessing your properties here. So now let's talk about a different data type. Now here, what is the data type?
Jerome, just a quick question. Where are you getting the value 5? Is that assigned to petrol liter?
Here, if you remember, I'm just muting you. If you remember in the previous class, as we have got multiple constructors, right? So if okay, there's a shortcut here. You just say control and click on this. You directly go to the constructor. Okay. So here, if you see, when I say new of bike, you are saying this dot petrol liter equals to 5, this dot name equal to bike, and this dot length equal to 10. Okay, so yeah, as you know, this is the one you give some default implementation or default value to the properties of this particular class. Okay, so if I would have called this one, let's say I'm going to call this. Okay, so here in this case, I'll just say 50, right? So when I say 50, that means here I'm going to get the value as 50. No, this is not the good way. Yeah, the question here is it a good way to create class instance every time to call corresponding methods from the class? No, this is not a good way, but this is also a way to create it. Okay. All right.
Yeah, just one more question, Jerome. How does bike client class knows that it needs to reach out to the other class, bike class, to obtain the values for petrol liter?
So your question is, how does the bike client is able to access your bike class, right?
Yeah, the bike class. How did it know where the bike class is?
Okay.
And where the values are for petrol liter?
Right. So we still have a lot of discussions on that, but on this note, I'm just going to say you that here in Java, if both the classes are in the same package, okay. Now, as of now, just understand that your class bike client as well as the bike are in the same package, okay. So you're able to basically access it. All right. We'll even see there are a lot of other discussions also wherein if there are in different packages and we have different access modifiers, in that case we'll not be able to access a couple of things. Okay. But as of now, since your bike client and the bike are in the same package, so I am able to create an instance of your bike in your bike client. Okay. So this is how basically Java has been designed. You can access the classes inside the same package or even outside the package, which we are going to have a discussion later. Okay. All right. Now, here I'm saying new bike. I'm saying new bike here. Okay. And then dot petrol liter. So let's say what's going to be the value. For sure, my value is going to be run as Java application. So my value is going to be 50 here because I'm invoking a constructor with a parameter in it. All right. So this is how basically your program behaves. All right. So any questions on this? But again, this is not a good practice of doing it. Okay. This is also a way of doing it. But again, at one point, sometime you don't have to create an instance because you know that you just need to invoke one particular value. Okay. You don't have to do that in that way. So here in this case, I know that I'm just interested in the petrol liter. Okay. If I would have been interested in, let's say, accessing other properties also, I'll just create one instance here and then try to access other properties also. Something like this. Okay. So petrol bike one dot, let's say name. All right. So this is the way basically I will access it. I will never say again as new because the moment if I say, to Saroja's question here, if I say something like a new bike dot name, right? So what happens? It is not basically going to access your same object. It is going to create a new object here, and after creating a new object, you are trying to access the name here. All right. So it is if you want to refer to the same instance here, right? So if you want to refer to the same object here, so you just need to create an reference to it. So reference in the sense you are referring to a particular, you're creating a reference object. Okay. So if I just name this as your, instead of bike, if I say it as your reference bike. Okay. So this is your reference of a bike object. All right. The same thing you can even have the naming convention for other bikes also. Okay. So keeping this in mind, and keeping this in mind that, okay, whatever the things you have it here, it is kind of a data type. Okay. I'll say reference bike one. So what is reference bike one? It is of type, which kind of data? It is of type bike 1. Okay, so when I say int I, right, what is int, what is I? I is of type integer, right? So here the reference bike is of type bike. So bike 2 is of type bike. All right. So keeping that in mind, let's move ahead. So what I did is I have created a package here that is your enum example. So let me go ahead and create a class enum example. Okay, and let me have a public static void main. Okay, now we are going to talk about a new data type right now, which we haven't spoken about. We are going to talk about something like as enum. Okay, now here what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a data type as enum here. Okay, so I'm going to say public enum. Let's say I'm going to say here as month. Month is already present somewhere. Okay, we'll do one thing. We just take this out for now, because as you know, we cannot have two public classes at the same place. Okay, now here I have declared an enum as month right now, and let me give some value to it. Okay, now in this I know that month belongs to January, February, March, okay, and let's say April. Now I have given only 4 months here, right? Now how do I access this? Now each and every month are of a kind of data type of type enum. All right, so I'll say here month. Okay, so the way I have, if you see that in the previous session here, when I say I've created a bike class, okay, that is what you have it here, and I'm just having a reference to it, and I'm just saying new of bike. Okay, so that means reference bike 1 is of type bike. The same thing here, I'm going to say month, let's say JAN equals to, I'm here in order to access the month January, I have to say month dot Jan. Okay, so what I did ultimately is I created an enum data type. Okay, enum class. Okay, basically you do not make it as a class, but enum is of type a particular data type. Okay, now here if I just want to print this is trace plus Jan. Now let's see what's going to be the value here. Right click, run as Java application. Okay, now the value of Jan is your JAN in capital letter, right? If you make it this as January, right click it, run as Java application. Okay, so here what I did is I created a data type here, or I created an enum here, and I've created some values here. So the same value I'm trying to access it here. Now let me make this a short here as JAN. Okay, now I want basically to say here is the moment I say month.January, instead of JAN I want to have the complete name to it. Okay, I could have even done it in this way, JANUARY, the way I did it in the previous example also. Okay, now what I can do is I can have a constructor for this particular enum type. Okay, so what am I going to do is I want to say something like, if I access JAN, I want to know the value as January. Okay, so what I have to do, I have to use a constructor for this, right? The way I have used a constructor here, the moment I say bike, okay, new bike, I basically hit the constructor. The same way, the moment I say month.January, I will hit the constructor and I will initialize it with some default value. Okay, so I'll just say here as, let's say January. All right, now I haven't defined the constructor here, so let me go ahead and define a constructor. Okay, so what I did is I have created a constructor right here, and let me say this as string name. Okay, and let me do the same thing for others also. This is your February, this is your March, and this is your April. Okay, now what am I going to do is I'm going to, how do I access these values? Now even if I say, let's say right click, run as Java application, right, I still get it as January. Okay, now but I basically want something as January as a complete name, right? So what I have to do is, let me try to create an instance variable the way I created it for the bike, right? So in the bike class, I created something like petrol liter, name and length. Okay, now in this enum class example, I'm going to say, let's say, okay, so let me simply say as string value. Okay, so I'm going to say this dot value equals to, let's say, let me make this value itself here. All right, and then how do I access it? If I say January dot value, right click, run as Java application, right? So what I can do is, the moment I call this month.January, what happens? Your constructor is going to get called. Why? Because you are basically calling this one and this one is being called, right? The moment you call this, your January as a value is being passed to your constructor here. Okay, and then this value is being initialized with the value of January, and the moment from your main method or maybe from your external class, the way I did it as a bike client, if you access your January.value, you will basically get the value of the complete value. Okay, now it is
I'm sorry, just one quick question. How does the program know that it has to pass the value of January to that value, VALUE?
Right, okay. Now as you are invoking this one, right? Now here on an enum, if you see I'm invoking this, as a result, it basically invokes this. Okay, so that is the beauty of enum here, right? So, but in the previous cases, if you see your bike client, or let me just copy this right out here, copy it in your bike itself, make it simple. Format. Okay, now here, you know, the moment you invoke this, your default constructor gets invoked. The moment you invoke this one, your parameterized constructor with only one argument gets invoked, right? But here, if you see here in your enum, right, the moment you invoke this, you say month.January, right? So you don't have to create any instance of to access your variables here. Instead, you can directly say month.January. So when you say January, so this one gets invoked, but this is being associated to a particular constructor. Okay, so as a result, this value, the January, gets initialized to the constructor here. Okay, so when you say anything here, your this constructor is going to get invoked because your enum, okay, but it's kind of a class and you are creating a constructor for it. Okay, the same thing here in the previous example. Okay, so here in this case, bike, when you say new of bike, your default constructor is going to get called. But here in this case, when you say January, the January is associated to a constructor, and as a result, this constructor is going to get called here. Okay, so that's all automatic. That is the way your program behaves basically. Okay, is that pretty much clear?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, there is a question here. What is the purpose of use of enum class? Okay. Now, here there is a good purpose here, which we are going to discuss in short right now. Okay. Maybe in the upcoming sessions. But here, as I spoke about the constructor in the previous class, I thought, okay, it's a good idea for us to understand, okay, there is a class enum, okay, and how to use it. All right. So here, usually, let's say, now, I know that usually you say month as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Why is that string value for? Okay, yes, we'll discuss about all those things. Okay, now let's say in your program, okay, in your program somewhere you are checking that if let's say I'm going to say int I equals to 0. Okay, now I'm saying here if I equals to 0, right? I'm saying that sys out month is January. All right. Now the same thing I'll say else if this is equals to 1, I'm going to say it is February. Now what's happening basically here? You are trying to access something like 0, 1. It is okay unless, I mean, in the previous world it was okay. I mean, I say 0 means okay January, 1 is February, 2 is March, 4 is your April. Okay, so let me even copy this and paste it. Else. Okay, so if 1, 2 and 3 here. Right, now tell me, is it a good practice if I say 0, 1, 2, 3? I mean, if suppose tomorrow you have written this code and you are very good, I mean, you know what it is, I mean what this functionality is. Okay, all of a sudden after 1 year you by yourself will open the same code, you will not understand why did I add something like I equals to 0, right? Now let's say this is you're doing some logic based on if I equals to 0, that means you're passing a value 0, that means which is your January, right? So instead of doing this, what I want to do is I want to have some meaningful name to a value which I'm comparing it, right? So I want to say this as let's say I want to say something like okay, so this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, and this is your 3, and let me change the data type to integer here, int. Okay, and let me change the data type here also, int. Okay, now what did I do? Instead of 0, what I can do here is I can say month dot jan, right, dot value. So is it not so meaningful saying here that when you say 0 and you're saying month dot January, that means you're checking something like month dot January here, right? So this makes really good sense for me when I say month dot January or month dot February or month dot March or April. Okay, so this is one of the important use of having your enum data type instead of having some value which will not be easy to maintain or understand down the line. You basically use a enum data type. Okay, and even enum will even talk when we talk about constants. I will try to compare your enum with your constants also. Okay, all right, so this is one of my use. We are going to have still more uses as well down the line. We'll talk about those things in the later session. So what is it what is so different this from arrays? Array is of a similar data type. Okay, now array, you cannot compare array with this one. Array is something like you have some bunch of data in that and you iterate that. Okay, can access month dot January. Okay, let's see this. Okay, there's a question here. Yes, it's a class. Okay, So you cannot say something like Jan equals to something like this. Okay, so this is not the way you are going to define a enum data type. Okay, the values in your enum. So the syntax for doing that is something like this itself. Okay, January, February, March, April. So let's say you are defining a coffee here, enum coffee, right? So you're saying you're going to say what kind of coffees I want. I want a small coffee, or I want a big coffee, or I want a medium coffee. Okay, so you are very specific that okay, my class is of type coffee, and what kind of coffees I have. Okay, so if that is a class, why don't we have public or private access on it now? Okay, let me create a class by itself. Now, as in the previous sessions, I have already told you. Okay, there was a question here. If that is a class, why don't we have a public or a private access on it? Now, in the previous sessions, even we spoke, we cannot have multiple classes with the same public specifier. If I say public hello, okay, public class hello, it is going to give me an issue here saying that the public type hello must be defined in its own class. All right. All right. Okay. Now for that reason, we basically remove this. Okay. And if you want to still create a public class hello, you can basically create the public class hello somewhere in the same package or any other package saying hello example, right? So when you say public static void main, by default this class is your public class. Okay, so if I want to create an enum right now, I can say new. Let me come back here and I want to delete this. Okay, let me delete this and right click new class. So I'm going to say coffee and finish. Now if you see, this is your public, sorry, hang on. So I'm going to right click and say new enum. Okay, so there is already, you can even directly create the class and name it as enum, but there is already an option COFFEE. Okay, and if you can see here, there is no option for you to create a main class here, main method here, right? So just say finish here. Now if you say finish in its own class, and then you can have a public specifier here. Okay, so I can just say okay, let me not do this. I'll just say small, big, large, medium. Okay, now if you want to define some default values, you can very well use a constructor in order to initialize some values to the coffee object. Okay, so this is all about your enum. We'll still stay tuned. We'll have a lot of the discussions also down the line when to use enum and stuff and all. Yeah, coming on to Amit, your question, yes, we cannot do that in that way. Okay. Okay, you're saying final static class month. Yes, we can have it in this way also by giving the data type. In that case, yeah, see. Okay, there was a question here. Why not to have a class something like this? Okay, I can say public some class here, right? And in that class, I can define a data type as let's say string January or string February, right? Now, initial days we were doing it in this way itself. Okay, so we were basically doing it in this way. We were basically making this as final, and we were okay, we were making this as final, and we used to do the same thing. Okay, but in contrast to this, okay, your enum has come into picture. So this is just kind of a what I mean, just kind of a replacement. Instead of doing it in this way, I have done it in the other way out. Okay. Does enum treat the calls as how the normal class is called? That is, it creates an object. Yes, yes. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about something on the inheritance. All right. Now, as here in the bike class, we basically spoke about a bike in general, right? And now let's say I want to create a class or something like your Honda bike, okay? Or let's say, what are the other bikes? Bajaj bikes, okay? Now, let me create a new package now. New package. Enum, no, it's not any enum example. This is your, okay, you are still using the same, okay. Yeah, you can just replace that, give your folks an option to use the enum data type so that it is more clear and very crispy also. There are still more advantages I'm going to say you, not now, but later down the line as well. Okay, now we are going to talk about your, let's say, super example. Or let's say extends example. Okay. So now let me try to take some other examples right now. Okay, so let me say a class human. Finish. Okay, so this is a class human, and here I'm going to say string human. Okay, string name, and okay, string name, and then int height, and string occupation. Okay, or let's say country. Now I'm going to have a constructor here, so let me have a constructor, and in this constructor let me give some default values to these properties. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say name equals to, okay, I don't want to give any name. Okay, name equals to, let's say, human, and height equals to, let's say, 10, and country equals to okay. Now apart from that, you guys know we can even have the other constructors also. So let me copy this, paste it here, and I'm going to say string name, comma, int height, comma, string country, and I'm going to say this dot, this dot, this dot, and the same thing I'm going to copy it here and paste it here. Okay, now I'm good here right now. What am I going to do is I am going to create a new class, okay, which is basically going to inherit your
H2K Infosys provides world-class online IT training, staffing, and software testing solutions to customers worldwide. H2K Infosys, how we are different from our competitors. 100% job-oriented training, hands-on project work, cloud test lab, resume preparation and review, mock interviews, robust syllabus, one-time fee and lifetime access to classes, access to recorded sessions of live classes. H2K Infosys has won the trust of thousands of students worldwide. For a free demo class, Visit us at h2kinfosys.com.